There's nothing like a homemade buttermilk biscuit from scratch. If you guys want to know how to get this flaky, fluffy, buttery biscuit, watch this entire video. Okay, you're going to start off with 2.5 cups of self-rising flour. Please use self-rising, that does make a difference. You're going to have a teaspoon of baking powder and just a pinch of salt. Then you want to take 1 stick of salted butter, chop it in cubes to add to that flour. Now you would take your dough blender and get the butter mixed in the flour. I don't have a dough blender at the moment, so we're going to use my potato smasher. Should work out the same. Or you can just use a fork and get it all mixed together. Once it's to this grainy texture, it's time to add the buttermilk. Now the recipe calls for 1.5 cup of buttermilk, and I like to gradually add the buttermilk to the dough just so I can make sure my dough is going to be the correct consistency. Also, you don't want to overmix your dough. That can cause your biscuits to be dry and a little tough versus moist and fluffy. Now that I'm done with that, you want to go ahead and prep your workstation. Make sure it's clean and dry so you can go ahead and add your flour so you can start kneading your dough. And at this point, I realized I used just a tad bit too much buttermilk, but that's an easy fix. All I have to do is add some flour into this dough mix, and then that'll correct the issue. Now you can go ahead with your dough to try to start making your biscuits. You want to get it rolled out, and once it's all flattened out, you're going to just keep folding it. That's going to give you those flaky layers like I'm doing here. When it comes to the shaping of your biscuits, they don't have to be perfect. I could just cut this into 4s, but I want to show you guys an alternative to give you that round shape. I didn't have my biscuit cutter. You could always use anything round, such as a glass or a cup, and you're going to get that same biscuit shape. And you do that with the remainder of your dough, and that just determines how many biscuits you'll get. Make sure you have the bottom of your pan greased so you can go ahead and get ready to add your biscuits. You can allow them to touch or you can separate them. That's your choice. You want to make sure your oven is preheated to 425. You're going to place them in there for like 12 to 14 minutes. And when they come out, they should look something like this. I forgot to mention, like 5 minutes before the biscuits are done, I made an egg wash and water mixture to spread on top of the biscuits to give it that golden brown color. And then I melted some butter and honey, and that's what you see me drizzling over these mouth-watering biscuits. You can eat these biscuits with a butter spread, or you can make your breakfast like I did with eggs and bacon. And if you guys decide to try this recipe, let me know in the comments. And again, thank you for watching. I'm Cooking with BG. And don't forget to subscribe.